microphone. Give me that microphone.
Testing 1, 2, 3, here I go. Give me that microphone. Give me that microphone. Is this thing on?
The moment I've been waiting for is finally knocking at my door. My day up in the sun is just a ride. The world is mine and it's my stage. I'm owning this, I came to play. Just shout out, scream it out and testify. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. I'ma give 'em a sight to see. Buckle on up and get ready. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. All is on me, make it loud. Listen up, can you hear me now? Give me that mic. Now's the time. Get up, get loud, and show 'em what I'm about. Give me that mic. I'm coming alive. Ain't no stopping when I'm in the zone. Give me that microphone. Give me that mic. Give me that mic. Now's the time. Give me that microphone. I'm pulling out my heart and soul and feel it deep down in my bones. It's my time to shine, I'm going far. Turn up that kick drum, funk that bass, drop and hit those 808s. Tonight I'm gonna light up like the stars. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. I'ma give 'em a sight to see. Buckle on up and get ready. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. All is on me, make it loud. Listen up, can you hear me now? Give me that mic. Now's the time. Get up, get loud, and show 'em.
Hey, good morning. Happy to see you guys on a Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday. And here we are at a lake house out in Rockwall. It's a really nice listing. If you have a premium client looking for a lakefront property, give us a call. We'll get that all taken care of. This property is simply amazing and won't last long. Let's go ahead and talk about today's topics. Topic number 1 for today is going to be real estate and capital gains in 2021. We have a webinar and an invite for you to join there. If you have ever wanted to be a guest on TNT and sit like right over here and tell us all about the stuff that you learn on this webinar, then I will be happy to have you attend and be a guest and sit like right over here. All right, so that would be cool. We'll discuss that first. And then the second topic is we have the business quarter coming to an end. So we're gonna have the 2021 residential real estate market update, kind of according to me. And what I see happening, I have a couple of updates to what I've been speaking on, and I wanted to relay those to you guys. And then of course we'll cover one new real residential real estate word, and it'll be application, specifically the 1031 application, and we'll talk about that for just a little bit. So now is a great time to go over here and chat your name into roll call and just show that you're present, create this habit, this routine. You just got done doing some social media stuff, and now you're ready to learn for just a little bit, and we'll share some things, okay? If you happen to be the first time joining us today, thanks. We appreciate that. We really enjoy new visitors, and if you would, put in your full name so we kind of see that, not just your moniker there, like give us what's up, and then reach out to us, and we'll talk later on in the day. We're always happy to have new people join us, and I think it's kind of a good time to start going. Let's hit topic number 1. Omkar, let's do it. Hey there, I'm Mike Acquisto, real estate broker and co-owner with Acquisto Real Estate, and it is time. What's it time for, Mike? Well, people are making a profit on residential real estate, and we have to talk about real estate and capital gains in 2021. So there's a webinar coming up. We're going to share all that information. Hey, Omkar, it's your time. Let's put it over here. Let's take a look. All right, so we have Benchmark Mortgage is sponsoring a financial person to come in and guest speak about this, but it's going to be on a Zoom meeting. So here is the information to go ahead and take a look at. Now it just looks pretty. You know the person that's going to be speaking. Now let's give you some more info. We're going to give you the exact Zoom link. We're going to chat that link in for you, and we're going to let you go ahead and register and RSVP. So this link's going to come over to you, and it is going to be on April 7th at 9 a.m. So you're going to have to finish up TNT and log right in there. And this is a great time that if you, as an agent, would like to be sitting over here in the seat and tell us all about what you learned at this event, I'd be happy to have you do that. So simply sign up here, let me know, and as soon as you can, right after this, take some notes, and we'll have you be a guest, and we'll have you relay all of that information directly on to the other viewers. So it's your time to shine. If you're going to step up and do this, go ahead and chat in and say, hey, Mike, I'm in. And then what we'll do is we'll have you all scheduled. You can register yourself, and off we go. You'll be sitting here in no time at all. All right? So if that's your dream, we can make that one happen. I think that's all I got on that topic. Hey, I'm Mike Acquisto, real estate broker and co-owner with Acquisto Real Estate. In Frisco, Texas, market update for the end of 2021, first business quarter for residential real estate. And here we go. So I've been speaking for quite a long time about the residential market here specifically and how it's been changing all across the country and how people have been moving from the city center out one location. So if they lived in the city center, they were moving to the edge of the city. And if they're on the edge of the city, they were moving to the suburbs. From the suburbs to somewhere rural. If they lived rural, they were going and getting really rural and going to other places, just getting a lot of space, right? And that person was looking for 10 acres, 100 acres, like big voluminous space because of what's going on. And there was a couple of factors at play. The first factor was COVID and the fact that we're doing so much remote work and everything kind of seems to be working reasonably well with that. So that trend is going to continue. And then the second thing in play that goes along with that is, in my opinion, Elon Musk and the blanketing of the whole globe with this internet that's coming beaming down from the sky and having it actually work and having these things take place. So you get real world connection speeds and you can actually live all these different places. So that was one of the big things that was holding people back, is like, hey, I still have to work if I move to a place like this, right? And now that we have viable internet in those places, it's working. And people are like, okay, I can see this coming. I'm willing to make that move. So that's kind of been the trend that I've been seeing. And, for every one person that's in the city that's moving to the outskirts, from the outskirts of the city to the rural, there's more people that just keep getting magnified at each step of the transaction. As you move out and people are moving to one classification of property with more space, what I see is there's more of them at each turn. So the people moving, there's like one person, and then for every one person there's two people moving to this one, and for every two people moving from here to this other space there's 5 and 10, and there's just this huge groundswell. And what's happening is these huge tracts of land are getting split up in these outlying areas that used to be 1,000 acres, and they're becoming pieces for 100, pieces for 10 acres, and people have these numbers in their mind. They're like, I want to have this house, and they imagine, some larger home, 1-story spread out, and like a couple of animals in the front and a garden and being self-sustainable and a well and putting a certain amount of money in and getting 10 acres and having something interesting. I have heard that same story over and over and over again. And that's kind of what I've seen happening. But I do have an addition to add to that now. So what I've seen is these people moving out to those locations. And I've also seen and heard of a rubber band pulling back just the opposite direction. So with some of these companies, if you have a super premium position with one of the ultra high-end companies that are influential in setting the tone for our economy. If you work at Facebook, Google, Apple, one of those big ones, and you've achieved in your career, and you're now at the point where you're making, $500,000 to $1 million a year, and you're in this range of having one of those really serious jobs, then what's happening there is if you move to one of these outlying places, you become too far from the influence center. And there's a person who's making decisions. And all of a sudden you lose some of this input that's going on. And I've heard it from Saif Reza Ahmed, one of my really good friends and Cornell roommate. So he told me that was becoming a problem, and some of these people were missing out on opportunities or steering committees or getting passed over for promotions because they weren't necessarily in that city center. It was only important when being geographically close to the decision maker was vital and important because this person has this position, and they felt that influence and proximity to the influence decision maker was important. And we're talking about jobs that are, $500,000 to $1 million a year in income. I also heard this same thing from Frisco luxury real estate associate broker, Amy Gasparini. She talked about that just the other day, that some of her clients were initially thinking, hey, this is all great until, right? So I think that this is a trend that continues to happen. But what we have is this tip of the iceberg up here, and there's so much down below. So if we look at this tip, there are some people that can't be away from whatever sphere of influence that is at their work. And there's a small amount of people that make that certain amount of money. Those people might always have to be there if they have ambitions and want to continue to rise up the corporate ladder. However, underneath that iceberg, if we look at it, there's a lot below the surface. And all of those people are the ones that are going to be able to move, right? So they're moving out and getting more space. So that's a trend that I definitely see continuing on. But I did want to make the note that we are seeing kind of that tip of the spear of that specific price point that we just mentioned that do kind of have to have a logical reason to stay remotely close. So if you have that person and you're looking there and you have that borrower or you have that client that's looking in that price range and they do make that type of money, they probably do want to stay close, and now could be an amazing buying opportunity for you to have them scoop up one of those homes from somebody else that's moving away. Possibly the owner of the company or super high up executives are not that involved on a day-to-day basis anymore once the company becomes large enough, and they're just doing kind of like vision and leading the company mentally, then those people are able to get away and be at more of a disparate location, and they have availability to private jets, planes, to be able to have a helicopter and get back for corporate board meetings. I'm hearing a lot that people are stopping down for board meetings in a more specific way now than they were before. So if you have somebody that's in a board meeting, you have somebody that's on an executive committee, you have one of those type things, then what you're going to see is they're going to probably be in town for a period of time, and they're going to be like huddled in masses. And I've been seeing that time and time again with different clients that we meet. They're like, hey, so I'm kind of like in this black time where I have to, turn everything off, and we're going to be doing this. So those are real world things, and that's kind of the market update that I see going on at the end of the quarter for 2021. I kind of see it continuing to happen. I do see prices appreciating. We'll make note that lumber prices are up, that all the inputs going into construction costs are up. Building new homes is taking longer. Labor shortages all over the place. We see this trend all across the country. We see price appreciation going up. We see homes selling for above list price, like considerably. We see people moving from location A to location B. We see them moving all across the country and just scattering. I see the whole middle of the country filling in right before our eyes, and we are in the midst of a huge real estate revolution. It is going to be not too similar when it's all done to the industrial revolution. We're going to look back at this and be like, wow, we just real estated the whole globe. And that's all happening because of those two factors of remote meetings and the accessibility and the internet, right? And what that's able to do with this low orbit satellite internet, as well as social media. And when we talk about that, there's sometimes negative influences of social media. And there's this complete backlash of people that are off it, that aren't included with, that are moving to something different, that don't want this for their kids. The people that had this and they saw what happened with too much social media for kids, with too much pressures of being in one specific spot. And they're like, I'm gonna do this different for my children than the people that had millennial children, and they saw what happened there. So they're trying something different because they love and care about their kids, and thus we have a different outcome. So that's the real estate market as I kind of see it at the end of the first quarter. Let's go ahead and say we're done with that topic. Catch you next quarter. Application. That's the word today. So that word is often going to be used in conjunction with a real estate application for a mortgage loan, often referred to as a 1031 or 1003 application. 1003 application for a loan. And that the definition is going to be the form used to apply for a mortgage loan, containing information about a borrower's income, savings, assets, debts, and more. So if I use that in a sentence for you, my client recently made their application with a lender for their mortgage. Okay, so it's pretty simple. I think it's relatively straightforward. The 1031 application is a standardized real estate form used by the lender. They're going to fill in all these questions and ask a ton of them as they go through. It's going to go over like, how much do you make? Where do you live? What's your assets? Are you married? Do you own any other homes? And they're going to pull credit reports. They're going to ask for bank statements to verify information. They're going to ask all these different questions related to you and your ability to borrow to make a decision. It's a standardized form that they utilize. And then out the other end comes an approval or a denial. And you'll probably go through that with a local lender if you are doing the right thing, and off you go. That's one new real word for today. I'm Mike Acquisto. See you next time. Well, that's a wrap for today. We kind of went rapid fire through a bunch of different items. Topic number one that we covered was real estate and capital gains in 2021, introduction to that webinar. And if you guys are going to be attending, just let me know. I want to have you on, right? It'd be a great time. Today is a Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday. So what I want to remind you of today is that this is when we're at like the bottom of our week and we kind of like hit this doldrum. Like Monday and Tuesday, we have enough effort to kind of go through. Thursday and Friday, we're excited because it's going to become the weekend. And then all of a sudden it comes to Saturday and we're like, wow, I got a lot of showings. This is crazy. So Wednesday, you kind of slack off. But I'm not going to let you do that because today is a Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday. That means make it your best day of the week. And imagine if you take your worst or least productive day of the week and make it your most productive day, then all of a sudden you've got something. I don't know. Try it out. See if it works for you today. And then after that, for our second topic today, we did cover the market update as I kind of see it. I've covered that at length at different times, but I added a different spin on it and gave you a couple of different things. If your borrower happens to be at this $500,000 to $1 million income on an annual basis, then congratulations, you have a great client. And I gave you some additional information on some things that they're kind of seeing going on. All right. Hey, so we're back. We kind of covered all that stuff. We did cover one new real word. I think we're all done with that stuff. I think now it's time to take some pictures and get the heck out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. Tomorrow there will be agent meetings. If you are a unlicensed or new agent, we will be meeting at our normal time. I believe that's 10 o'clock in the morning. So we'll have that all ready for you guys, and we're excited to see you. If you were not on your agent meeting this week, then what you should be doing is catching up and watching it. It is all recorded. I did have quite a few people this week that said something like, hey, I'm busy, I have this going on, I have that going on, I'll make up the meeting, I'll attend this other one. If you missed one of those other meetings and you want to attend in person, then you can. Tomorrow's your opportunity. Thank you guys. See you later.
All right.
You ready to go, my man?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's get a standard pick there.
So,
Bam.
yeah. One with the cup.
Cool. Maybe going...
One with the cup. Yeah.
One with a cup? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, this is when I was husband of the year. That was a long time ago. Okay.
All right. So first topic, real estate and capital gains for 2021.
Oh, okay, cool. This is where I go calculator again because it's totally one of those things that applies perfectly to that.
All right. Now,
Hey, do I have to hit one every time or can I just hit two?
1 and 2.
One and two?
In comma.
Yeah, I don't know if I screwed that up. Because I don't know if I'm
let's
hitting.
do it once again.
Yeah,
Let's do once again.
I know. I just keep hitting two and I'm like, yeah, that's working totally fine, but maybe it's not. Okay. Market
Okay,
update.
second topic is, yes, market update.
I don't know. It seems like I should be looking at some type of piece of paper like I know what's going on, right? Let me grab something back here.
A piece of paper and wear your glasses so that
Glasses?
people...
Why are you trying to... All right. Whatever. Glasses. Whatever.
All right. Now,
Okay.
okay.
I don't know if I screwed that up. Let's go ahead and take a look because I think I totally sucked on hitting the button at the right time a couple of times. If you could, please.
Yeah.
You know, I asked these people to chat in like 75
2,
times, and I
3,
got
here
like
I
pretty much
go.
no
Give me that
interaction.
microphone.
So,
Today
yeah.
we had ladies like this.
What the heck?
Give me that microphone.
Sometimes the viewers suck.
Is this better?
They need to be better. I'm gonna put them on notice.
The moment I've been waiting for is finally knocking at my door. My day up in the sun is.
So,
Oh, that's a little too much motion there, huh? Not exactly what you're looking
Yeah.
for? Okay, that's totally fine.
this one is,
That's as good as you get with me. You know what? I didn't have to hit two every time. Or one every time. It just keeps going.
yeah.
All right, totally fine.
Okay, perfect.
Good. That one that looks totally weird when I'm holding it backwards. There you
Okay.
go.
This
There you go.
this
Well,
one is much better.
there you go. Well, I think you got what you need, and we're concluded for the day. I will see you tomorrow. Let it run what you normally do, and we'll move on. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye.
1, 2, 3, here I go. Give me that microphone.